wanna see the light. See the light.
Hey guys, James the Fawn again. Just basically doing a follow-up video. I was a little bit sporadic that first video. Obviously, it's rough draft. All this is a rough draft. This right now is a rough draft. But basically, I can see I was kind of all over the place with the first one. I was more of trying to tone it down and more of give an understanding of why I am the way I am and what brought me to this point and where I came from. And I know the common misconception of me is that, I've had it easy and ignorance is bliss or whatever. So I'm going to delve more into what kind of made me this way and the real reasons behind it all, and more just give insight of why and understanding of how I became who I am now. So we'll skip past like childhood and high school. That was always good for me. Great parents, great family, everything like that. But internally, it was a little different. So I turned 18, and we'll just start from when I turned 18. I turned 18 2 months before I graduated. In that time, it was very popular in high school. Lots of fights, gotten tons of fights throughout my whole childhood. More so for the right reasons, more so because nobody else would really stand up for the right things, and that's why bullying today has even only gotten worse. People will walk all over you if you let them, so if you put people in their place, I guarantee you they won't try it with you again. They may try someone else, but they will not try you. But anyways, that's besides the point. Can't get off course. Anyway, so 18 years old. I turned 18. It's 2 months before I'm graduating high school. I'm a young, popular kid. Everyone knows me. Got this bravado to me. This whole different vibe and everything. At the time, I had a girlfriend. It was my girlfriend at the time, but I'm not gonna say I was young. I wasn't a good boyfriend. I wasn't a good boyfriend. I wasn't meant for a relationship, especially at that young of an age. I was more of a title based, being whatever. So as time goes on, I graduate high school. The day after I graduate high school, I got a interview at Grimway Farms for my first job, full-time job, and I get the job, so at this point I'm riding on an all-time high. I'm thinking, fuck yeah, basically life's easy. People say this adulthood shit is so hard and this and that, like they just don't know what they're doing. I had this ego through the roof, fattest ego in the world. I was popular growing up. All the girls liked me. I got a job as soon as I got out of high school, full time, I was the shit in my eyes, In my eyes, I was like, no one could stop me from doing what I want. I was the shit, you know what I mean? Like, basically round two is, if someone thinks life's hard, they just don't know what they're doing. So as time passes on, I have this attitude as soon as I turn 18, that, hey, I don't have to listen to anything my mom says anymore. If anything, if all else fails, I could leave. I got this job. And I just bought my first car, I'm like, you know what? So I thought I was hot shit. I thought, man, I don't need to listen to my mom. I don't need to. If she says anything I don't like, I'll leave. I use it more as like a tool as a threat. Yeah, all right, well, I'll leave then, Mom. I'll leave if you don't want me here. If you're going to tell me what to do. So, long story short, we end up getting in this fight. I move out. And then this time I move out, I keep my job. I'm keeping my job. I have my first car. It was a nice, decent car. It cost me like $2,800. I was feeling really good about myself, and I move in. I won't say names or anything, but I moved in with a buddy's family, and we were living there and everything, whatever. Long story short, my buddy's girlfriend, if he might watch this, but no hard feelings. But his girlfriend runs away from home, or she might be watching this. Runs away from home, is staying where I'm staying. It's like some Romeo and Juliet, Bonnie and dumb shit, dumb ass kid shit, basically. That's what it was. But she runs away. She's staying where I'm staying. I'm not really there. I partied my ass off through these times. I was partying 24/7. I was a party animal. I've just now started to slow down, and I'm still. Don't get me wrong. I'll still drink with the best of them, like. But yeah, I gotta speed this up just a little bit. I'm not trying to give well, actually, I kind of am. I'm trying to just give a little insight on who I am. Why? I don't know. I just feel it's important, and the right people will want to hear this. And so basically, what happens with that? Anyways, long story short, she moves in. Her parents think that she got kidnapped. Her parents end up coming to where I stay. They find her. She is scared. Said that, whatever. Said that, she did whatever she could as a 16-year-old girl to stay out of trouble. Because, obviously, what are you going to do? You're 16, you're stupid, you don't understand what you're saying could really ruin can affect a reputation. And I'm guilty by association. I'm living there. I didn't want her to live there. I didn't care if she lived there. I just happened to live there myself because they had a room for rent. And that ended up turning so far bad. So there's my name is dragged through the mud just a little bit. Not really. Everyone kind of knew what I was about. Knew it wasn't me, but the cops are looking for me for a short period of time, which actually led me to my friends that I'm brothers with now. It actually led me, that uncomfortability led me to I make lifelong brothers since then. But so what happened was fucking whatever, all that's happening, and then I call into work one night, and I do some dumb shit. Basically, it started LSD. I did acid this one night. I end up I shouldn't be. I don't know if I should say that. I don't think I can get in trouble for it now. But we just crossed. Fucking. So anyways, this happens. I get in a car accident. I wreck my car. Dead man's turn. After I called into work, I wreck up at Mountain Park, total my shit, and in this time, my ex-girlfriend at the time, the one I was with, we separate. I wreck my car, and because I wreck my car, I lose my job. Remember these three things: lost my girlfriend, totaled my car, lost my job. Those three things will come back in a little bit. So this happens. My life falls apart. My ego takes a huge hit. This is God humbling me extremely because I was very egotistical at this time. I thought I was the shit. I basically, in my mind, knew I was the shit, and no one could tell me anything different. My parents couldn't teach me shit that I didn't already know, supposedly in my own head. All this shit. God humbled me very hard. You know what I mean? So as time goes on, I start struggling. I really start doing heavy drug use, like not, just like I won't get into like all the details and stuff, but I really struggled mostly with LSD, with acid. I did lots of acid, and started to really take its toll on me and have an effect on my brain. Started as time went on, I actually became in no dramatic way, not trying to, not looking for whatever the word is, fucking whatever that damn word is. I don't even know what it is because I never look for that shit. Like where people feel sorry for you guys. So I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. I'm just giving an insight of where I was at. I was schizophrenic. I was like real life schizophrenic. Like I understand schizophrenia on a very deep level now, and what I learned from it was actually huge, extremely huge, and it's brought me to a huge point of where I'm at now. So as time went on, I slowly. Alright, so my last video got cut off. Stupid phone call. This is why I need to do it separate. Phone videos. I'm still learning the shit, but anyways, I got 2 separate damn videos. Hopefully that doesn't make that big of a difference. But anyway, so schizophrenia, basically. So schizophrenic, having extreme problems with anxiety, depression, like deeply rooted problems within myself that nobody understood. Like I would have mental breakdowns. I would have evil things happening, demonic things following my life. I opened myself up to this spiritual portal that I wasn't ready for, that I don't think any human on this planet should be ready for. The evil that you can open yourself up to if you allow it. And some people never make it out, which is actually a very sad thing. I was actually able to grow more and more from it. But, you know, some people never make it out of that situation, you know. But, so through this time, you know, I'm doing lots of drugs and this and that. And I get a job at Del Taco. Finally get a job again. I'm walking around town looking for jobs every day. Get a job, whatever, get a little ass job, whatever, part-time. And I'm kind of getting back on my feet. And at this point, my buddy Marvin dies in a car accident. One of my good best friends' brother. Consider him my brother. Rest in peace, Big Marv. You know, that type of shit. Fucking passes away. Ends up throwing me off the deep end. Me and all my friends. None of us knew what to do. All of us were very weak. Understandably so. We were all very weak in this moment and at this time of life. We all, instead of helping each other, we kind of enabled each other. And we thought we were helping each other at the time, but we were honestly hurting each other and ourselves through it all. And I went back off the deep end. I was doing lots of drinking, lots of bad drinking, you know, just fucking horrible. You just not yourself, blurred, tons of acid, tons of drugs, you know, tons of shit to just numb the pain. I was trying so hard to numb that I couldn't comprehend. I didn't want to even start to comprehend losing him because I had never lost anyone close to me, let alone someone as close as he was and as close as we had became. And so time had passed, and keep in mind, you know, let's see, I could find little side stories left and right throughout all this, but those are for different times. I'll just give a baseline, and then at different times I'll give more detailed explanations of like certain parts of life, because I'm telling you, my life is a movie. That's why I'm trying to document it, and I'm trying to start to document it now, because I've already, if I would have been doing this the whole time, it would not only been healthy for me, it would have been healthy for others to hear it and have that understanding of you're not alone when you're going through shit, and shit's hard, but you're not alone ever. And you're not the only person going through heavy shit, and understanding could help and grow with each other. You know, you can help each other. You could really help each other in just understanding what someone else has been through and knowing that you're not alone. So anyways, he passes away. You know, he passes away in my buddy Vinco's arms. Vinco passes away a couple months later from a whole different situation. Also won't get into on that deep of a level because it's just not. It's not the time. But so at that point is when I really started to like make this shift. You know, I made a new shift in my life to where, sure, it took a while, but it was the beginning of the thought process of where I've become now. It was I'm done living. I'm done not living for this. I'm done wasting my time on things that aren't going to feed my soul. You know what I mean? And basically, I got to start feeding my soul before I start killing it. You know what I mean? Because I realize how easily you could lose somebody and how easily life can be thrown away, and not even, you know, it's so short, you never know. So I just started living not for myself but also for the people I had lost, and in this time I started to grow more and more towards God again, and I had to refine God, and it was just a weird situation when I just first talked to God again. I just had this epiphany, like, fuck, dude, I don't even know. I don't even feel like God knows. I don't even feel like God knows me. I don't even feel like I know me. And that was scary. I lost myself so deeply. I lost myself. I don't remember it at this time. There's so much times like I like, and I'm not saying it in like a dramatic way, like trauma. When I use the word trauma, I'm not saying it as in like, oh, I was just like, ooh, traumatized. Like, no, I was traumatized that I have shut off a lot of those memories. I've lost a lot of those memories. I've lost a lot of those feelings of what I was going through because I chose to only remember. I don't remember those things because those things are so hard to remember, so scary to remember, that you just forget them. You choose to remember other things and think about other things. But anyways, to that time, let's keep going. So I lose Marvin, lose Vinco, still at Del Taco. Somehow I didn't lose my job doing all this acid, all this Molly, all this like cocaine at the time. I was just bad off. I was very bad off. I was doing bad shit. And I'm not saying this for judgment. I'm not saying to be chastised. I really, it's scary. It's weird. This is more of a testimony. This is a testimony to show who I am. And I don't want to be judged for it. And I don't care if I am. But, I know that there's going to be certain things, certain people that just have something negative to say always. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm more of doing it to show sorry, checking my battery. I should have planned this a little better. 9%. Still good. So anyways, time goes by, whatever, fucking trauma. I start to heal a little bit, I start to learn to heal and what healing even means and what pain even means and what life is all about and what real reality has hit me very quick from when I was a child having a good, a young teenager, having a I got in trouble from my parents a lot, and I did get in trouble at school a lot, but that feeling, man, that's not bad. That's not scary. That's not life. That's like, I was protected a lot of my childhood from the deep shit. But as soon as I turned 18, it got deep quick, and it got deep fast. I was sinking, and I was not swimming up. I was falling. I was drowning, basically, in life. Figuratively speaking, I was drowning. I was close to death. I felt like I was dying. Like I had so many times in life when I was deep in acid. I truly felt like I was dying. I to this day I have my funeral planned. I have all the songs I want played. I have all the pictures and videos I want, because I was really bad in my head about where I was. But I'm grateful for that, because even if all else failed, I would still have that at my disposal. But I was very, very, very low at that time. And so as time went on, still at Del Taco, and I hit this point to where the schizophrenia gets so bad, I'm getting stuck in dreams inside of a dream. Like, I can't get out of these dreams until I find God. This demon is breathing down my neck, right in my face, like shit like that, and I can't move. I could feel it, the chills to this day. There's demons, chasing me, begging for my soul, you know what I mean, basically, and real ass demonic shit. I do not believe in God because of how I was raised. I believe in God because of personal experience. I believe in the devil, and I believe in demonic shit because of what I've been through. And anybody who knows me, knows my stories, knows that this is not off of some shit that my parents raised me on. This was off some shit that I experienced. The reason I believe and I have this testimony and I have this will to share a story is not because of some, I wish I was raised like that. No, it was true experience. I've questioned things more than anybody I know. And that's why I feel so passionate about what I feel, because I've questioned it enough to find the answers within and be on my last straw. Be on my last leg, fucking having to deal with what these feelings are, with demonic shit, real demonic shit in my dreams. Like, I'm getting stuck inside dreams. I would wake up, say I fell asleep right here, I'm asleep. I would wake up in my dream in the same spot, And then there'd be just evil shit. Like, even like my mom, my brother being like, oh, it's okay, this happens to everyone. Their tongue, it just becomes like, they become snaky and reptilian like and evil and just demonic and like breathing cold ice cold air on me. This Norwegian air, this Norwegian snow, look at this shit. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette so you guys can come with me. But like, look at that. Fucking, this ain't even cold. This ain't cold to me. That shit ain't cold after you felt some shit like that. Not even the slightest bit. But, you know, that was real. It was reality and it was scary, but it made me who I was, you know. And a lot of people, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe everything I say, you know. I'm just giving a testimony. I'm getting it out in the air for the one person that does need to hear it or want to hear it. And I know I continually say that, but it's going to help, you know. It's a motivation. I'm trying to give an understanding and a testimony to give some insight in why I chose this positive mentality and to share it and to be so confident in that fact. So, so as time goes on, obviously, so time goes on. Sorry, I've been keep getting off track. I'm going through it. I'm off the deep end. I lost my friends. Still at Del Taco. And finally, I get to this point, like I was saying, where there's not much left of, but you know, find hope. Where I was close to death, soul-wise. Spiritually, I was almost dead, which is what brought me to these desperate points and desperate situations to where I just told myself I'm not. I did acid again, and I had this moment of like real evil shit, you know, where a little girl I knew was hitting me with this doll that nobody had seen. It's like a movie. She's just like, Lucy doesn't like you. Lucy doesn't like you, and that's acid street name for the people who don't know. That's LSD's street name is Lucy, and it's this doll, like an evil ass movie, like a freaking scary ass Annabelle type shit. She's like, Lucy doesn't like you. Lucy doesn't like you. And as soon as that happened, and I was having these dreams, and I was getting this demon sitting on my chest every night, following me around, I felt it, I saw it, which sounds crazy, and I don't care anymore. I used to care that it sounded crazy, but now it's part of my testimony, and it needs to be said. People need to hear it because it is important. But as this happened, I kept praying, and I kept changing. I decided I just stopped doing acid, and the second I stopped doing acid, God was like, thank you, I've been waiting on you, like, here, now it's going to be a long road back. It's going to be a long road. You can't wake up and stop doing all this stuff you did and just be fine. You got to reap what you sow. You got to live with your repercussions and understand what it did to you. So that's what I did, and it was hard at first. So, you know, I'm basically, it's like kindergarten, back to life, back to adulthood. It's kindergarten again, and I end up getting this other job. I'm working at Del Taco in KSAC, a conservation corps, and then what really reset my soul and helped my spirit was working out in the Sequoia National Forest, and that's when I had a shift, and I felt God again, and I felt a renewing, and I felt faith again. I felt hope, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I kept striving, and while I'm out in the Sequoias, I had applied for the job I work for now, Whirlwind. And they're like, hey, you know, we're going to have an interview, whatever. But I was out in the Sequoias and I wasn't able to make it. Luckily, my boss at KSAC, to this day, awesome man. Love that dude, you know. Awesome dude. Like, I will always appreciate him. Calls the boss over at Whirlwind, who's now my boss now, obviously, and he tells him, hey, you know, he's working for me. He's been working. He's not, you know, he's not just missing this. He's working. And here, I'll just set it. How am I gonna do this? Sorry, I'm charging my phone now because I don't want this to die in the middle of the video. Okay, so sorry, I need to find something to prop this bitch up. I'm not very good at like this whole. I'm gonna get better at all this. Don't worry. But I wait a month, and I end up getting a second interview, and in that time, I didn't get hired the first time with Whirlwind. They told me, sorry, you didn't make it this time. Maybe next time. They invite me back the next month, and I come back. They hire me. I go into labor work, and I'm telling you, I'm still recovering. My brain is still recovering extremely. It just has hit a point to where I could feel comfortable again, and this has been almost 3-4 years later. It was a long road back. Like, sure, those times I just briefly went through were hard, but the recovery was the hardest. The recovering back to a faithful, hopeful, spiritual, purpose, living for a purpose type of person. That's what it changed at that point for me. And that's been the hardest. But it was a long road, and it was definitely the better you try and do, the harder the devil tries to get you back. Because when you're living the way the devil wants you to live, when you're living in a way that the devil has you, he's not gonna mess with you. You're already ruining yourself. You're already doing it to yourself. So when you start trying to live and get closer to God again, and return to your roots and get better, then the devil will throw everything at you. So as time goes on, I'm a laborer at Whirlwind. I'm just never missing a day, working hard, trying to recover mentally, spiritually, physically, obviously, too. It all goes hand in hand. I was a weak human on all three phases of mind, body, and spirit. And as I started to heal, I met a lot of good people throughout my time who God sent my way. I know that for a fact. God sent them into my life to help me, to guide me back to who I need to be in my promise. And it's all wisdom. It's all part of God's plan. And I know that's cliche, but it was all meant for where I was and who I was becoming and who I am still becoming now. And so I make it past the labor phase. I get my classes. I become a solar technician, and I start feeling better and better. But then I get sent out to Idaho, and it's my first time out of California working. I'm in Idaho. I'm starting to finally slowly get back to having a little more faith and having a little more hope, and trying to be an inspiration and a motivator again. But in that time, my girlfriend I was telling you about, that I had lost earlier in the past when I was 18. I'm 20, almost 21 now. At this point in time of the story, I'm in Idaho, and my ex-girlfriend and I get back in contact. We have this beautiful renewing. We get back together, and we get back together, and things seem like they're going trending in the right direction. Within a month of being back together, her mother, who I to this day will always love and have always loved, she goes to the hospital on Mother's Day, and long story short, she ended up staying in the hospital until she passed away on my ex's birthday, her 19th birthday. Her mother passes away, and that becomes a really huge, heavy. It's time for the struggle again. It's time to test my spiritual strength and mental strength again. And so we get to, I'm doing everything I can. I get sent back home from Alabama, New Mexico, all these places I was going. I was going to New Mexico, Alabama. I was traveling a lot for my job, and then I get sent home. I request to come home so I could be around her, help her out a little bit, and then I was home for a little bit, but after so long, my job basically, if I was gonna work, I needed to get back on the road. So I go back out to Georgia. I go to Georgia. I'm out there. I end up being out there for 6 months. Within that time frame, it's kind of heavy on the relationship. It's hard. She was going through a lot of shit, and I was stressing out, not really being the strongest and knowing what to do. And because at some point, there's nothing you could do but just care. And that's where I was at. And then, so I fly home, surprisingly, from Georgia one weekend, and I propose to her, and you know, she says yes. Everything's, you know, on paper, on social media, it's beautiful. But there was something different, you know. Like I may have wanted to convince myself it was the way it was, and maybe her as well. But so within that time, I'm actually in Georgia. She's supposed to come visit me. I'm like 2 days out from her. I was flying her out, and then out of nowhere, she leaves me. We separate while I'm in Georgia and she's in California. You know, she doesn't come out to see me. And then I'm still in Georgia. I'm trying to, you know, not lose my shit, you know, try not to be an emotional wreck. It was a heavy on my soul and heart, and it was like a very sad moment for me because I don't like failure. And at the time, that's what taught me don't let failure define you, you know, like, because at the time it was heavy on me again, and I was back to square one. You know, I'm trash, and I fucking deleted another. I mean, stopped that last video again like an idiot. But anyway, so where I was at was, I really got to figure that out. I got to do something. I got to find a better way to do this. I have a GoPro. I'm gonna start doing it that way, or just get a nice laptop to where I could just do this type of shit differently, to where I don't, you know, fuck up on my phone or some crazy shit like that. But anyways, so we separate, doesn't go well, you know, it's emotional and bad, but I'm still in Georgia and I'm working, and we're on a weekend, and we're like, hey, you know what, let's go to Georgia. Let's go to Atlanta. I was staying in Butler, Georgia, and they're like, yeah, let's go to Atlanta, this and that, let's just have a good, you know, couple days off, you know. I was going through stuff. A couple of my buddies I was with were going through some stuff, so we just wanted, you know, kind of forget about it for a little bit. Forget about the bad and just get back on our, you know, trying to stay positive type of thing. And then in this time, driving from Butler to Atlanta, I actually roll a company truck into a ditch, you know. And it was at that moment when I realized, wow, this is God. I told God I've changed, and you know, it's easy to say you've changed when things are going good. You know, you got a good job, you're making good money, and got your girl back. It's easy to say, yeah, I've changed, I've learned, but at that time, God put me through the same situation as I had went through when I was 18, which was very clear. It made it very clear cut for me. You know, you lost the same girl. You rolled a car into a ditch again. This time I was sober, completely sober. You know, it was just an accident. Exactly what it's called, an accident. It was fully 1,000,000% an accident. And it was sad and it was fucked up that it had to happen that way. But it happened, you know. And it's not, you know, if you can't control it, don't think about it. Like I was telling you guys in the past videos. If I can't control how that situation happened, then I just need to not let it define me. You know what I'm saying? But, so, I mean, so at that moment, I'm just gonna fucking hate playing with this. Okay, so luckily I live obviously through another freaking rolling a car. Also, but the trauma is like fuck again, bro. Like, and then you know I get flown home from my company, and then I end up losing my job. I get fired, you know. So I'm sitting here back at square one where I was once way back when I was 18. I'm like, wow, this is exactly what threw me through a spiral back when I was younger, you know. This is exactly what made me struggle and lose my shit for so long and almost lose my whole entire mind. I was like, so what am I gonna do in this situation? So I'm home and I'm thinking and I'm going through shit and like, I'm just going through things. I swear if my mom calls me, I'm gonna be pissed. Cause I'm just no. Sorry. I hope it doesn't ruin the video because she just messaged me and like if she calls, it's gonna ruin the video. But so I just have an epiphany. I'm like, even if you know I get another job here in California, I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna fall back into some dumb shit. So I decided with the money I saved up that I was actually saving for our wedding,
I had a good amount of money saved up for this wedding that me and her were gonna have. It's supposed to be beautiful and all this shit. But now I'm fiance-less now. I'm jobless, and I have this money. And I don't know what to do with it. And am I gonna sit here in this town that I failed in so many times, or am I gonna put the effort in to try something different? So I move up to Washington. I get an interview in Washington, and I decided to pack up my Bronco, drive up there, and just wing it. I say, hope I get this damn job, because I'm not trying to sit here and think about everything bad I went through again. I'm trying to just to be different. I'm trying to get back to my roots, of like, don't lose your shit. Don't lose your shit again, basically, you know what I mean? Like, come on now, like, you got this. So I go out there, I get the job. I get this job making, decent money, like $23 an hour. I start working in Seattle, Washington, and I'm proud of, I'm happy and everything's going good. And of course, obviously it's not good. I just went and lost all this shit. But, that's where I really started gaining a lot more faith in myself and God, and to know that you're not a victim ever. It's all in your mind. It's all how you take it. It's all how you take something. How you take something that happens to you defines how bad or good it can be. Because the same thing happened to me twice, and once I was the victim, and once I was a victor. Once I took it as an opportunity to do something else. You're either a victim or a victor. You're either going to take it positively, or you're going to become a victim to the situation that you can't control. If you can't control it, leave it alone. It happened. What's next? Are you going to feel sorry for yourself, or are you going to be something better? So I go out there, I'm working my ass off, having a good time. I'm feeling good. I'm spending a little too much money, but I'm just trying to stay afloat. I'm trying to stay mentally and spiritually stable more than financially. But, I still had good money, don't get me wrong, but it slowly started dwindling. And as it went, I had another epiphany. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to Tehachapi. I'm going to get a dog. I'm going to get a husky, and I'm going to just travel the United States, and I'm going to just go spiritually grow and just feed my soul as much as I possibly can. And so I go home I get off work one day, and I just have this epiphany. I'm like, I'm going home. I drive 16 or 19 hour, whatever it is, from Washington back to California. I get a husky 2 days later, my boy Chiller, and we're ready to go, I'm ready to go. I start traveling the United States. The rest of the money I have, tax return just happened. And at that point, I'm a little bit away, and I won't delve into what happened with my dog, but I know some shady shit happened. Something shady happened with my dog. Long story short, I no longer have my puppy, my little husky puppy, full-bred Siberian husky. So I get, I'm like, damn, again, man, I'm just trying to do good. I'm just trying to do I'm just trying to, thrive. I'm trying to just do the right shit, and this bad shit keeps happening. So I get a construction job, like I was working up there, back here in Tehachapi, and, I start planning. I'm like, dude, I can't just do this again. I can't just sit here and lose my shit. So I take this class to get my TEFL certification to be, teaching English as a foreign language. I was going to move to Thailand. I'm a week out of moving to Thailand, a week to 2 weeks, and then my buddy tells me, hey man, try and get, you should get your job back, basically, at Whirlwind, where I had lost my job for rolling the truck. And luckily, I got another chance where I'm at right now, and I haven't failed, and I've actually learned a lot from being back, and feels good, and I'm blessed, and I'm humbled by the fact that I'm able to work here again. And but then that threw off my plan of Thailand. Like, okay, you're not going to Thailand anymore, you're going back to this job. So I go back to the labor, and then I go to Oregon, and I'm with this awesome crew, my buddies, Lewis, Chase, Dylan, Colin, and we're all, it was really spiritual. Really, you felt like we were all meant to meet each other and be together at that moment. And it's going good, and it's beautiful. And then, 6 weeks later, it ends, and I end up going to North Carolina. We got separated, and within that time of, I'm there, and next thing you know, I'm in North Carolina for about 2 months, and, I'm heavy shit, it's kind of going slow. You're trying to find motivation, you're trying to do this, and in that time, Dylan, one of the guys I was with in Oregon, he ends up actually passing away. This was about a month ago, give or take. He ended up actually passing away in a horrific accident, and I lost someone else again, and I'm like, here we are, man. But I keep getting stronger and stronger, dealing with it better and better. But perseverance is basically my life motto, man, is what I'm trying to portray to other people, is perseverance and attitude towards a bad situation. Just because a situation can be looked at negatively does not mean you need to react negative to it, because it will not help you. If it will only hurt you if you react negative to something you cannot change, because it'll hurt. Yes, grieve, be sad, but be strong. Stay grounded, stay smart. Don't lose your shit. Don't lose yourself ever. If you start to lose yourself, figure out why and address it before it's too late. And you go off the deep end again. So next thing you know, whatever, I come back to California for the holidays. I'm working around here. Just lost him and another buddy. Dealt with it a lot better than the previous times. Obviously, I didn't become a piece of I'm not gonna say it's a piece of shit. There's no wrong way to react to grief. You just can't stay in it. But ends up going through all that again, and now as time went on, now I'm here. I'm in Norway. This is continuance to my story, and this is just a very, very vague baseline of just a quick understanding of like, hey, just hear me, here's a quick testimony. If there's interest, I'm gonna compartmentalize the strongest forms of change and when I changed the hardest, and what made me change and how I went through what I went through, to give more understanding and more hope, and like, okay, now I get, like, I get what he's saying. He hasn't had like some perfect life and that's why he's positive, or he hasn't had something, he hasn't had an easy life. No, I've had actually a very hard life. Extreme, I've had a hard last 4 or 5 years for sure. Very heavy, crazy shit that's like out of a fucking movie, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, it may not sound as like crazy right now, in the, because it is very, vague, but it's just trying to give a certain understanding and just get it off my chest and get it into someone else's ears, because I got a testimony that could really touch a lot of lives, and I think with the right backing and the right people wanting to listen, I could really touch a lot of lives with what I've been through and how I dealt with it, and the things that healed me and the things that made me better. And now I'm in Norway doing what I've always wanted, world travel, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm getting to a point like, all right, man, Jesus, another freaking fucked up video got ruined again. So there's gonna be 4 of them. This is gonna be the last one for sure. I'm gonna make it quick. I'm just gonna wrap everything up. Basically, right now I keep persevering. Basically what I'm preaching is perseverance, man. Like, you may, from an outside perspective, without really knowing me too much, just seeing how I live and how I act and my positivity and my fun-loving free spirit, it may give you the wrong impression that I haven't been through something, and it may, with that belief of me, you may be turned off just to my whole vibe, but that's what I'm trying to give, a little more understanding that I have been through a lot, and it's not like I've had rainbows and butterflies in my fun-loving free spirit, and that it doesn't come from an easy background or oh, he just never went through anything. It's nothing like that. I'm just trying to show you it doesn't matter what you've been through, what you came from. You can have a fun-loving free spirit, caring, happy, soulful, motivating spirit, even more so if you have been through things, because you have that wisdom to give back, and that empathy inside of you to know when someone's going through something and know that they need somebody, and use that heaviness on your heart to really
use that as a tool to share and give back the way that you wished you had when you were going through shit. So it's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to touch people who need it right now, basically. And it's not easy. This is just all rough draft shit, I'm just starting, be patient with me. But this is basically just a start to my podcast. It's very rough drafty right now. Like, give me time, and I'm gonna be having like some of you guys on my podcast. I already have like a couple people lined up, that are really just want to sit here and we doesn't matter what we talk about or what we go through, man. We're just gonna sit there and we're gonna chop it up, and we're gonna talk about life. We're gonna talk about shit, and like, we could do it on a couple, behind a freaking 30-pack of beers, the camera, just talking, you know what I mean? But it's just gonna be something I'm gonna be doing from now on. Like, I hope I have your guys' support, and I hope I touch a lot of your guys' lives, and like, just feel just a familiar, fun face to hang out with and talk to about shit that people don't talk about, and free the air a little bit, like, I'm in Norway right now. I'm doing all the world travels and beautiful things I've always wanted to do, and this is just the beginning of it. I'm going to Sweden tomorrow, actually. So I'm extremely excited. I'm going to Stockholm, somewhere I've always wanted to be. I'm going to be, so I went from Denmark to Norway to Sweden tomorrow, and then I'm going to be back home to America, to California, and then start putting my work in towards this. And I want to have you guys, man, like, be proactive with me. Come on my podcast. I know this isn't really a podcast. This is just fucking phone videos right now, but I'm starting this. Like, I'm speaking it into existence. Speak good shit and speak it into existence. And I want you guys, if I want to come give your testimony on my podcast, on my show, on my podcast, and get something off your chest. You touch someone's life with me, and just bullshit with me. Talk to me. I'm someone that you could be comfortable with, and we could do it behind whatever, man. We could be sitting here drinking a few beers, whatever, man. Just it's just something I want to do, and I hope I have the support of all you guys. I know I'm kind of like a loose cannon. I'm kind of I pull myself in a lot of directions, but this is something I'm really trying to commit to and put full effort into, and I really hope with your guys' help, and we can make it something. And also, I hope what we make it into is touching as many lives as we can, and starting a baseline of motivation and love. That's what this has done for me. When I do this world travel stuff, when I came out here to Norway, like, I didn't know what I was going to get from it. I just knew my soul was going to be fed, and it was going to really help me get a push in the right direction for who I am and what I really truly believe in. And this is what it's come to, is something I've been really wanting to do for a long time, but I've been clouded by doubt and things, and just stress and wrong things. So but this has really cleared my mind, and I would love if I had you guys' help. I know that first video was like super rough drafty, and I just needed to post something, but this is also super rough drafty, but don't take it with a grain of salt. Grow with me, believe in me, and watch me do things that everything I said I will do, I've done. No one believed I would travel ever. No one believed I'd ever have a good job. No one believed I would ever recover from schizophrenia. No one believed in me a lot. So if you guys could believe me in this, and help me make this something important that I could really use to touch lives. I've always wanted to have a opportunity to touch people's lives and be a motivational speaker, and just, to just be a friendly, reminder of perseverance and strength and faith and fearlessness. I want to portray that, and I want everyone I want it to fuel. I want it to spread like wildfire, and I want you guys to be on, like, I want to have you guys as guests. I want to make this something, like, really, guys, if I can't stress it enough, like, I'm in it for the long run. I'm in it to touch lives, and for once in my life, I'm actually really focusing on it the way I should have my whole life. So these videos, you know, that I'm gonna start a page. You know, just be patient with these ones. Just give your support, you know, through the rough drafts that I'm doing, and watch it turn into something. I promise it will. Just have my back. Have my back and believe that I'm going in the right direction. I'm doing it for the right purpose. And I promise I won't let you guys down or anything like that. So just thank you guys. Tune in again, you know, like if you want to be a guest, if there's any subjects you want me to address, or there's any questions you have, you know, just send me messages, DM me, whatever, you know, hit me with some questions that you want me to discuss, you know, like they could either be anonymous on the show, or you could be like, hey, blah, blah, hey, I'm reading your question. Hey, you know, whatever your name is, Bob Johnson, you know, I got your question, this and that, you know, here's my answer to it, you know, best I can give. This is basically my perspective on it. Or, you know, if you want to be on and you feel like you have something to get off your chest and say, you know, hit me up, and I'm always down for it. We could definitely make time as long as I'm around. Then we'll definitely make time, and we can start making a positive movement in the right direction, and really, you know, getting things off our chest, spreading the wisdom, spreading positivity and light, and just being a beacon of motivation, and touching the people's lives who need it the most. And if you're going through something, man, hit me up. It doesn't matter. I got time all the time for things like that. So just want to thank you guys again for joining. Please bear with me through this rough draft shit, but I promise I'm not bad at things for long. So let me get a hold of this, and let me really, you know, put my effort into this and help me grow with it. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Sorry that's 4 videos. Hopefully you guys are cool with that, man. And it's going to be long too, so I'm going to just post this once on my Facebook. But after this, you know, I'm going to start a YouTube page. I'm going to start my own actual podcast channel. You know, it'd be a lot easier. You know, you don't have to be on Facebook watching freaking 30 minutes of shit. You could just tune in for a 30-minute, however long the show is, podcast. You know, if you're really a true supporter, which I really hope I have some out there, man. I would appreciate that more than anything. But I love you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for me and helped me out and supported me in the first place. And you know, we're out here, we're making it, and I just want to say thank you again. Basically, just continuance of, you know, just thanks for having support, and later from Norway, baby, more to come. It's coming. I love you guys. Deuces.
I'm crazy, watch you bend that back for me. We won't stop, got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you